On paper, you're accomplished. You got the job. You went through school. Parents are proud. But every night you go to bed, you feel empty. And you have to ask yourself why. And you probably do ask yourself why. And you probably question maybe it's a matter of accomplishments. Maybe you need more accomplishments because at nighttime when you feel empty, could be because you just didn't do enough. I'm going to break down in this video why so many South Asian men, South Asian young men go through the cycle of making their parents proud, go through that entire thing, but still feel like they're losing something inside. And the solution is not more accomplishments. The solution is not more numbing, more scrolling, more whatever your way of avoiding that feeling is. It's not the solution. It's actually very opposite of what you think you should be doing. And we're going to talk about the shoulds as well. In this video, I'm going to break it down all for you. But number one, you need to understand you keep a mask on. And I talk about this in my program, right? You keep a mask on at all times, pretty much until the mask comes off when you're alone with yourself, and that's when the thoughts kick in. This mask needs to be stripped away, and you need to understand and see and view who you are when there's no one around. Maybe you don't like who you are when no one's around, and that's okay. That's step one. But understanding why you do the things you do is because of validation, pure and simple, external validation. What is external validation, you might ask? Well, you know how good it feels when parents are like, "Yo, guys, our son recently landed a job at Salesforce. We're very proud of him." Or they might not even add the word proud. That's another topic. But when they say something in a crowd or in a group or with family, "Oh, huh, our beta just landed another job," it feels so good, so good. It feels so good, and I know for a fact, many people, if they woke up and dad came up to them and said, "Son, I am so proud of you and everything you've done and accomplished and how hard the road was to bring you here. You're good, man. I'm proud of you." You would feel on a different ball game. You would feel what you're trying to feel when you numb yourself with whatever your choice of numbing might be. And it's funny because I talk about this all the time, but no one seems to understand that your upbringing from your immigrant South Asian parents was great. It was a survival mechanism, right? They enabled you to be successful, a go getter, a hustler of sorts. But there was no validation as a kid. It was attached to things you conquered in life, even as a child, you know? As a child, you went to school, you got a 90% on a math test. You're not being told, "Beta, 90%. Wow, amazing. Do you know the average is 70%?" No, you're being told, "Oh, but the Rajesh, his son, he got a 92. What happened to you?" So that teaches you all of a sudden that when you're young, it's not enough. And you have to do more to earn love because Rajesh's son has earned his love by getting 92%. Therefore, if you get 92% the next time, you'll earn dad's love and you'll earn mom's love. Is that really true? Is it really true that the more you accomplish, the more love you get from your parents? And that's something that unfortunately many people have not yet understood, and they don't understand until they're 50 or 60. The more you accomplish doesn't mean the more love you will receive from your parents. The more you accomplish, the more you're tying your self worth to external validation. You're tying your self worth to the idea that now that I landed this new job, now that I finally got married, now that I did these things, my dad and mom will come to me and hold me and say, you did it. We're so proud of you." And it just doesn't happen. So what ends up happening? You go through the motions of life. You stay disciplined in areas that you need to be disciplined in for survival to get approval from parents, but you neglect yourself. So then when you're alone at night, your brain's pretty smart, man. We talk about this in the program. Your brain's really smart. Your brain knows you more than even you know yourself, and more than anyone knows. Your brain is you. Your brain is the version of you that you hide from all the time. All the time. We're all in distractions anyway, right? We wake up, scroll, go to work, down crazy amounts of caffeine, and just keep ourselves distracted until it's 2 a.m. and your brain's having a boxing fight with you. And the overthinking starts, and the thoughts come, and they start coming from all sorts of directions. And then you're like, "What's going on? I did everything I was supposed to do. Why am I still feeling like this?" Because you did everything you were supposed to do, not everything you wanted to do for yourself. You neglected yourself for so long in the craving of your parents' approval based on accomplishments that you forgot who you truly are and what you truly want out of life. So now it comes back to the idea of masks. In the West, as children of immigrants, we are wearing a mask. One mask is the collectivist identity mask, where you're a family oriented person. You're always there for your family, your parents. You're respectful. You're quiet. You don't say anything to anyone. You're doing everything to make them proud. And the other identity is the individualistic identity that the West has taught us and brought us up with, which is that you yourself matter as a person. Now, it's not a question of what is more or less, because it's a dichotomy. There's two identities here, but when you let them clash, that's when at nighttime you get those thoughts, and at nighttime you feel overwhelmed. So what's the solution? Well, it starts with using the principles that you use to get to the accomplishments you got to and translating them to internal self-growth. Because the more things you do that you're proud of when nobody is looking or saying anything to you about those things, the better you will feel alone at nighttime. And by default, the most amazing thing is, by default, when you do those things that make you yourself intrinsically proud, parents will be proud no matter what. So understanding the fact that you've been chasing and craving validation from mom and dad especially, for so long that you're lost. And I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you even a small amount. I don't blame you. There's no blame. Because as children, dad most of the time was on survival mode, right? Immigrant has to make ends meet, new environment, new country, new people, mounts of racism occurring, mounts of things that he struggled with. So he didn't have the energy or capacity to give love and acceptance and validation. And he was never taught that, right? Like, our fathers were not taught emotional validation to children. They were taught what their fathers taught them, which is provide, security, guide, mentorship. That's it. So you can't blame them, right? You can't blame someone who's just conditioned that way. But now that you understand this, if you've watched it this far, you have now understood the principle. Now you understand you don't want to pass that on. And you know you don't want to pass this stuff on to your children. You just don't know where to begin. That's okay. I'm here to help you. Understanding number one, emotions cannot be neglected. Cannot be neglected, cannot be neglected, cannot be neglected. Your emotions are one of the most powerful tools letting you know what's going on up here. When you neglect them long enough and stuff them down in that little place where you think it doesn't come up, it starts to come up, and it starts sending a signal to the body through the physiology of your body. How? Heart racing, overthinking, random bouts of sweat, random bouts of stress, right? And that's that internal emotion being silenced and snuffed out. Emotions are like oceans, right? Emotions are waves. You close the door behind the wave, it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep going until it can't go anymore, and then it explodes. And I know you feel like that sometimes. I know it. I know when you go up to mom and dad or anybody really and you say something to get that validation, like, oh, dad, I'm working on this new project at work. He's like, okay, cool. There's sometimes you just want to explode. I know you come home and maybe, someone says the wrong thing at the wrong time to you and you snap. Then you regret that at night too. Why? Because you're silencing the emotions so much. So really, my brother, what needs to happen is most likely you just need to spend a lot more time with your true self, your authentic self. How do you breed authenticity is very simple. You need to do the things that you've neglected your whole life. You need to go and play with Beyblades. You need to go and work out at the gym and give yourself time to process emotional residue that you've been ignoring, right? The gym is not, don't ever mistake my words as going to the gym as just going to the gym to get jacked. No. The studies alone have shown so much that the gym is an amazing way to process emotions. It's a way to process what's going on. When you're angry, when things are happening, why do you think you need a way to cope immediately? And some people numb themselves out, right? They'll numb themselves with scrolling. Scrolling, by the way, has become the new cigarette of the 1960s or 70s, right? So scrolling is just that idea that, okay, you don't feel good, boom, dopamine, boom, dopamine, boom, dopamine. So it's that idea that, okay, if something's going on internally, which there always is with you, what can we do to process those emotions? Well, we go to the gym and we train our brain, because I'm telling you, after a very long, hard workout, there will be bouts of clarity that you just didn't expect. It's the same idea with journaling. When you sit down and journal for time and time again and repeat affirmations and reaffirmations to yourself about micro wins that you stack, which is also what I talk about in my program, you'll feel better about who you are as you. As you. Not as how dad perceives you, as mom perceives you, as your uncle perceives you, as your society perceives you, as how aunties perceive you. None of that. It's who you think of yourself. Because you got the job, you landed the gig, you did the school, you did everything you were supposed to do. So why are you still not feeling good about yourself at nighttime, or really any time when you're alone with your thoughts? Make it make sense. And the sense is very simple. The internal child within you that was supposed to be coaxed and made to feel warm and made to feel safe, as that you're okay, away from attachments of the world, by the way. Away from, oh, like, okay, if you get 100% on your math test, I will definitely buy you whatever you want. And so now you've learned, okay, if I have accomplishments, I earn love. You have to rewire that. You have to relearn that, because that's not true. No child, okay, let me ask you this. Would you tell your child that? Would you raise your child that way? Because the thing is, by saying that you don't need, for example, therapy, or you don't need to go and process emotions, you're also saying the way you were raised is 100% correct, and that you're in a mentally healthy framework of life, which if you are, you wouldn't be watching this video. So by default, you're saying that I would not raise my child the way I was raised. So now there's a gap. Okay, great. Now you've identified the gap. How do you go about it? How do you fix it? There's no fix. It's a lot of work. Unfortunately, it sucks, but the real work really begins when you've accomplished worldly things, and now you're like, okay, this doesn't actually do anything for me, and it still makes me feel hollow and empty inside, and I kind of despise myself because I feel like I've been living for other people and not for myself. So how do I live for myself? How do I focus my attention on myself? How do I improve myself? Starts from within, starts from questioning yourself, starts from asking yourself the questions I'm asking you in this video, the questions I'm probing at you, throwing at you. What mask are you wearing on a day-to-day basis? What mask do you wear at work? What mask do you wear at home in your relationships? What mask do you wear with friends? Your boys will never ever come to you and talk together in harmony about childhood neglectful love from most likely father, or really anywhere. That's just not conversations South Asian men are having, from what I see. If you're having them, amazing. More power to you. So where does it start? Where do you begin? Well, number one, asking yourself important questions. And if you need important questions to ask, and you need probing, and you need guidance, free program, link in bio, School Community Unshakable. Free program, completely free. Go do it. Go see what happens. What's going to happen if I strip away all of your accomplishments? What's going to happen if I strip away everything that made you feel like you finally earned your parents' approval and love? Who are you left with? Well, you don't like that version of yourself. So what do? You just improve that version of yourself that has nothing to do with accomplishments. And how do you do that? Well, you accomplish things that you intrinsically want to accomplish only for yourself. You know dad doesn't care about 19-inch biceps, but you might. You know dad doesn't care that you've read 12 books last year on business, but you might. So what are you doing for yourself? And this is not to say neglect your activities and drop out of work. And no, this is to say keep that up, because that is very important in being a functioning member in this collectivist society of South Asian men. Very important. But what are you doing for yourself, man? Like, it's a lot of very complicated talk. I'm going to tell you straight up, what are you doing for yourself? How are you taking time for yourself? How are you taking care of yourself? And how are you nurturing the inner child? We have an inner child with all of us, and it's trying to do something. It's trying to protect us. It's trying to warn us. It's trying to tell us something. And until you ask that inner child, that 12-year-old version of yourself, what do you want? Why are you bugging me? And it's going to say something. That kid is going to say something to you. It's going to say, because we're not getting love. And you know you can't get love from home to unconditional love that's not based on accomplishments. So what do? You got to nurture it yourself. Because if you don't nurture that self-love yourself, you don't take care of that inner child yourself, you're going to go looking for it in places that aren't going to serve you, my brother. You're going to go look for it in random women. You're going to go look for it in random friends, in random groups, and other people, and online social media, and you're going to chase likes, and you're going to become addicted to external validation. And now you're this weird guy who just posts these thirst traps for likes. And we all know the trope. The trope is that person who's very popular on social media but empty inside. Do you want to be that person? No. So you got to love yourself. How do you do that? Sit with yourself and ask yourself who you are without all of these accomplishments. What do you actually want? Why do you not like yourself? Is it because you don't like how you look in the mirror? Great, you can change that. Is it because you don't like how you feel about yourself? Great, you can change that too. The self-image is malleable, man. It's like Play-Doh. We just think it's concrete. It's not. The self-image is constantly rewiring and changing itself. The brain is plastic. The actual superpower of a human is the adaptable spirit we have. Think about it. The most closest loved one to you passes away. In essence, you should not be able to function with the rest of your life, right? Because there's such deep love there, but we still manage to do so. Why? Because we're adaptable. So, using the principle of adaptability and brain malleability and the idea that the brain is plastic, you can change your self image. You can change how you look on the outside. And by doing these two simple things, I have a very strong feeling you'll actually go to bed feeling pretty good about yourself because now all the parts are being met. The job is being met, the accomplishments at home are being met, being a respectable, honoring, obedient son is being met, and you are who you say you are to yourself when no one's looking. And that, in essence, unlocks a level of life that is unreal. It's beyond words. It's beyond a YouTube video. It's unreal. It's a way of living where you bleed authenticity into everything you do, and that alone creates relationships, experiences that truly, 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 truly are incapable. Like there's nothing like it in the world. You know that click you feel with a person? You do that when you're authentic with yourself. To summarize, you're not broken. You're not broken. You just spent a lot of energy building yourself up to be someone who finally gets accepted for the things they've done because you've learned from an early age that accomplishments equals love. Now you know it's not true. Accomplishments doesn't equal love. Love equals love. Your parents will love you no matter what if you're a decent human being, of course, and you're a member of society. But arguably, even then, even if you were, a homeless person, drug addict who's just killing people, but your parents will still have love for you. So understanding the fact that your parents love you no matter what, but they've just been trained to compare you to other people and attach accomplishments to your self-worth. But now you know it's not true. So now you gotta go home, brother. You gotta go home. You gotta journal. You gotta sit down. You gotta, the best way, in my opinion, is to just stare at a wall for 10, 15 minutes and see what comes up. You probably can't do that. It's hard. It's hard. You gotta sit down and just ask yourself, what is it? What do I want? What am I neglecting? Who am I really? And all of this is in my free program that I created for you, for young South Asian men, to better understand themselves. Stay tuned for the next one.